Hello Sagittarius, and welcome to your February 2024 reading. I'm Nicholas Ashbaugh. It's great to see you. As always, you can use this for Sun, Rising, Moon, and Venus, and you can watch this to basically help you navigate through the next 6 to 8 weeks. I always begin with mediumship and channeled messages. Today, everything came from dreams, and I received quite a bit of information. The first thing had to do with speaking in public or just having a really important conversation. What I saw in my mind's eye was someone that was behind a curtain or some sort of obstructed view, and they were reading into a microphone, but trying to go through these cue cards and stick to the script. The interesting thing is, if you've ever watched like an infomercial or something where a person is too rehearsed, there's something about that is off-putting. It's much better to just have normal pauses, maybe even stumble a little bit, but connect with the audience. At some point, the person knew that they had it, they had practiced and rehearsed enough. That is important to do ahead of time. And they're like, let's just put the cards down for a second and really connect with everyone out there. And at that moment, all of the eyes turned towards the person on the stage and the magic started to happen. I put the Queen here, the Empress, but I could have just as easily put the Star card. Either way, it's your chance to shine and to command the presence. That's why I chose the Emperor here. And basically here, step forward, connect, and speak from the heart. This is going to connect us into the next message. So what really started to happen was you just trusted yourself and started to have fun a little bit. Even, like when a mistake or when something natural happens, you just own it and move on. And like I put in the bullets here, it's not about perfect diction or the great, like using all these big words in your vocabulary. It's more about conveying an idea or a feeling and doing it with authenticity, with passion, and really, just trusting in that. Trusting yourself and connecting with the heart. So I have a couple of queens here. The Empress commanding the presence, could have put the Star as well. And then the Queen of Cups speaking from the heart. Now, the other thing, speaking of just sort of general expression, is it reminded me of the scene from the movie Ghost from the, what was that, 90s, 80s, 90s? And there was this kind of in-joke between Patrick Swayze and Demi Moore. And basically, Patrick couldn't say, I love you. He just said ditto. So in the dream, someone expressed love to someone, and I heard them say likewise. And it totally reminded me of that movie. And I could tell the person felt love. And then I heard the other party go off stage kind of, or to the side, thinking, oh my God, why did I say I love you? They're not ready. They probably think I'm crazy. So what it did when you said likewise, or the person said likewise, is then create doubt and discomfort for the other person. And just say, if you feel it, this is if and only if you feel it, just say, I love you too. And sooner than later on that one. If you don't feel it, it's okay. And then that's a different conversation to have, and you should be honest. So if you feel the reciprocity, then reciprocate in kind and do it with words that are easy, not like likewise, ditto, or right back at ya, or love ya. It's got to be like, I love you too, thank you. Don't put thank you in there, that's weird too. Just say, I love you too. Practice those words if there's someone in your life that it's hard to say back to, because you never know what twists and turns might happen in life. And I like to approach conversations as if, like, what if this was the last time we connected for any given reason because of schedules or time or health or anything else? Let's just make sure that there's nothing left unsaid. Now, on a different note, this expression can also simply be appreciation for people around you. And it can also just be without strings attached. Just say, you're amazing and I just wanted to say thanks. Or you did this today and it made my day. I said that to someone the other day. I just said, it was a customer service person and it really cheered her up. I said, I had so many challenging calls and people that I had to get transferred to. You fixed my problem in like a minute. You're amazing. And she said, oh my God, thank you. And you could tell it was amazing because all they hear is complaints. And I didn't need to get anything else back. It was really just heartfelt. So sometimes we give the thanks or love or appreciation and it's just because. But if someone is kind of testing the waters and you feel it too, then reciprocation is key. See how the Two of Cups is eye to eye, face to face, heart to heart? This can help in communication as well. And that's why I picked the Two of Cups here. The last one can be both read at face value because I am a medium. It can also be extrapolated and looked at an abstract level. So the specific visual that I had was a tire that was either under or overinflated, and then I saw it blow. Like I saw kind of an explosion. So it's a pressure issue. The figurative or kind of abstracted version of this is, are you doing what you need to in your own life to kind of have a pressure valve check and say, am I overwhelmed? Am I underwhelmed? What am I doing to deal with my emotions? And so, of course, meditation, counseling, and then just speaking will help. I chose the Temperance card here because you want to avoid having a really important conversation if your own internal tire pressure or pressure valve is off. You want to be like Temperance, just weighing things out, feeling okay, observing it, one breath, one step at a time. I've had a challenging incident that just popped up in my own life, and I just try to take it minute by minute, hour by hour. I try not to think too many steps ahead, and I feel out each moment as I go through it. It's been working for me. So even when you're met with a challenge that was unexpected or uninvited, you can handle it. But you're going to have to give yourself opportunities to meditate, sleep, talk, and practice really good self-care if you're going through any of that. Okay? So these were super specific and I feel like really practical messages that can help you and everyone if anyone else just randomly listens to this or if you're watching for sun, rising, or moon. So with that being said, why don't we go a little bit deeper and see what the cards have to say. Again, this is going to help you with the next 6 to 8 weeks. Everybody's welcome. Even if you just randomly kind of found this video, like I said, there's mediumship involved as well, so you're in the right place. All right, let's shuffle the cards and see what Spirit wants to say. Wow, we have the Lovers and the Empress. There's synchronicity with that too. Since I was talking about commanding presence or commanding the stage. All right, everybody, let's take a look at your two catalyst cards. Both of them came reversed. We have two planetary influences, Uranus and Neptune. So let's talk. As I said, we have two catalyst cards this month, Uranus and Neptune. These are helping us go into the deeper part of our psyches. They're both outer planets. And let's take one at a time, beginning with the energy of Uranus. As you can see, there's almost on this card a little bit of like tower-esque energy here. And that is because with Uranus, there is a sudden awakening or sometimes an unexpected energy that comes through. There's also an encouragement to be yourself. So you may be experiencing a little bit of resistance when it comes to rules, wanting to change the rules, wanting to be more original. And you may also have really out-of-the-box ideas and desires at this time, like I really must do this, I must go in this direction or explore this new path. So there is this tower-like energy that's going to set you up for a moment in the spotlight because the star follows the tower, and that is where the power is here this month, is to just lean into the changes. Because this card was reversed, some of you are second-guessing if you can do it, when you should do it, etc. And to me, what I'm picking up on is not a question of if, but when. It's more just trusting yourself, and like I said, putting the cards down, stepping into the spotlight, and doing just this. Speaking from the heart to someone and they're going to connect with you, okay? We have the Neptunian energy coming next. Neptune, of course, is about desires and perfection, trying to be, everything to everybody. It's spirituality, creativity, and it's also on the shadow side, sometimes illusions and self-deception. So the reversal of this is about being honest with yourself. And the other thing here is your dreams are coming through in a way that can really inform the next moves in your life. So lean into that and trust that. Let's go ahead now and move from the catalyst energies to the Celtic Cross itself and take a quick temperature check and see where it's all headed. In one word, it's change. We have beginnings. We have the Two of Pentacles here weighing two options. We have the Two of Wands landing on one of those options. So that's really important. We see success being where you're headed. We see love and relationships in the past coming back, lessons from love also playing a part here. We see a decision to go big or to move in a new direction, especially when it comes to that, because partnership can be there. And then we have this new beginnings card here. So a couple of different paths and beginnings and two cards of balance and opportunities. So with all that being said, let's set the stage with the centermost card, which is Six of Pentacles. Normally you would see scales on this card, but you always see a hand outstretched. So they focused in this illustration on the outstretched hands. And basically, this puts you in the position of power. You're the one holding the scales and the coins and deciding, am I in or am I out? It's kind of like playing a game of poker. There's a point where you just sort of cut losses on some things. There's a point where you have a winning hand and you go for it. By the way, don't play poker. But from what I've seen in movies, it's that same sort of energy where you have to kind of weigh the options and take a calculated leap of faith or risk. There's also just very clear energy with the Six of Pentacles, which is, I don't want to do it, or I'm putting my energy here and I'm not getting a return. It's all about discernment and weighing the options. And sometimes we don't have a complete guarantee and we might have to take that leap of faith, but you'll be able to sort it out, okay? You're holding the scales that helps you in creating something new. So this beginnings card or this Fool card shows someone facing an opportunity. When I talk about the Fool, sometimes I like to remind folks that it's not always, you can see it as walking out, but you can also see it as walking toward. And based on what I'm seeing here, it's walking towards success here because we have the energy of success. So you're looking at the horizon here and thinking, do I believe in myself? Do I believe in this? Is this reciprocated? Is this worth it? And if it is, take that leap, folks. This energy of newness can also be connected to a new beginning in an old relationship. So for some of you, there could be this energy around forgiveness. There could also be reconciliation or reunion that's coming through. It could mean changing path because this particular Two of Pentacles is about weighing two options. And we could see something where your decision is basically going to be one that not only is going to lead to success, but it's something that people are waiting for you to decide on and basically communicate. We see possibly a new beginning in a new relationship or a new partnership. Healing the wounds of the past, possibly even with your parent or parents, is going to be really important there. So this is something new for the better, a change for the better, stepping into success, changing your experience, even with finances too, a new beginning on finances. And there are still, you've got both cards of financial balance here. When I get to this card, I'll pull up both so we can see it and you can look at the scales on these two, but trust me in the meantime. First things first, so I want to talk about the deep past. You have two powerful cards that came through. We have the Empress, which is the first card, and then beneath it, the Lovers. The Empress can have to do with our just general connection to our own power because Emperor, Empress energy is basically you feeling comfortable, feeling confident, kind of like I was talking about, commanding a presence on the stage and just saying, I've got this, I can do this. When you are comfortable and confident and feel the self-worth, others will reciprocate. And that's kind of what we're seeing here with this, is the Lover's energy is attracted to the Empress energy. This is, it can be taken at face value. There may be, like I said, an old relationship coming back, but this can just be a relationship with your own power. Power and like energy attracts like energy. So you'll start to pull in people who have done the same work, have a good sense of self-worth, self-confidence, can take care of themselves, can take care of you. And it's a really healthy vibe that I see here with these two energies together. You may also be looking more empathetically towards maybe a family member, whether it's a sister, an aunt, a mom, or even a dad. The Empress card can be someone who took care of you, but maybe there was a little bit of struggle or whatever, and we see now something new, a chance to look at that now with love. Especially as we age, we can see, you know what, maybe our parents did as good as they could, or maybe this person did all that they could with the tools that they had. So a chance to look at something with a new perspective, but at the very least, a new lease on love. Some of you are with the Lovers and the Four of Wands. This is a celebratory card. It even has the word celebration on it. Are beginning something new, a new phase. Judgment is something new, rising up. So it's an elevation here of this relationship. It all begins, folks, with communication. I featured the Queen of Cups because I was talking about speaking from the heart, but the Queen of Swords is also just about speaking and making sure that you're not mincing words. So she comes in and says, just say it. Just say yes, or just say no, or just say I love you. And don't get in your head too much. Queen of Wands can overthink. Queen of Swords doesn't. Queen of Cups can feel too much. Queen of Swords doesn't. Queen of Pentacles can weigh out all of the options. Queen of Swords just says it. And she's telling you, once you've weighed the options, which that's what the Six of Pentacles was about, are you in or are you out? Once you know where you stand, say it. And by saying it, you're also speaking it into existence and creating a more sort of substantial foundation, which sets the stage for the success energy that we see in the crowning position here. So we see someone here standing tall. We see them not necessarily where you would expect. You would think these trees would be green and bearing fruit. You would expect sun, etc. She's more like we are in the northern hemisphere right now in winter. Now, this tree keeps its leaves, but there are other trees on this block that have actually lost it. Even though we're in Southern California, the lack of light actually will create, loss of leaves. So when you look at a tree without leaves, eventually they'll grow back. And not only that, in the following season, they may grow a few feet. So she's looking at the long game here. She's saying, right now, things aren't where I need or want them to be, but that's okay because I'm setting into motion several things that are going to ensure abundance, ensure growth. And she has faith in that vision. This is also a card of sometimes being way ahead of everyone else, because in the traditional illustration, you have someone on a horse, they're riding in, but you don't always see the audience in that card. So she's there first, setting the table, setting the stage, and saying, I know it's going to happen, so I'm going to keep doing the hard work, and it will pay off, folks. Let's move on to the Two of Pentacles next. As I said at the beginning, we have two cards of choices. There are two twos here. Two of Pentacles, Two of Wands. Two of Wands is also just leaning into your vision. But let's begin here with the Pentacles. And as promised, I have traditional illustrations here for the Two of Pentacles and for the Six of Pentacles, so we can talk about the different kinds of balancing that they require. Then I'll lean into this. Okay, so at the center, you had the Six of Pentacles, and that's really just a choice of how you're going to spend your resources, your time, your energy, and your money. The Two of Pentacles is also you doing something that creates balance and stability in your life. It can help you make the decision on the other one. So if someone is asking for help or if they want you to join something, you have to think, does this create stability? Am I also connected in the heart space on this, or am I just doing it because I don't have any other choice, or because of the money or whatever? So this is really asking you, what is your motives and how will this create more stability? Because you do have two cards that show budgeting, I think it's really important for you to plan out your finances this month. I'm all for taking the leap of faith, but there has to be the understanding of how this will impact things. So you can take that leap when everything's put together. I talked in another sign this month about when I decided to quit. I had to wait 2 years so that I could save up enough to start a business and to take a chance on myself, because it's not easy, it's not free. You don't always make money at the beginning, so you have to create the foundation. So some of you are weighing options, looking at the calculator, looking at the calendar, and mapping things out. And I'm all for that. Change can happen, but it should happen in a measured way. So now if we look at this card, it's looking at both light and dark, positive and negative, constructive and critical, all of that stuff, so that you can get the full picture, get the big picture this month. And in doing that, you're going to be able to move forward with confidence. And that's really what this whole exercise this month of going through all the cards is allowing you to do, to move forward with intention, with confidence, and also with power, because we have the Empress coming through as well. So Sagittarius, this month you're showing up with the beautiful Four of Wands. We can even see on this that there's a caption, celebration, right? So you might be celebrating an end or a beginning, because judgment can cut both ways. You might also be celebrating having made a decision, because all of these cards are about weighing decisions, looking at different ideas, and trying to figure that out. And this is just a great energy to exist under in general. So this Four of Wands, we don't necessarily see the partner there yet. Again, they could be coming in from the past. It could be setting a new stage for someone else to come in. This can also just be what you're emanating, which is you're worthy. It's a worthy card. Someone's looking at you thinking, I want to be a part of that, whatever that is, whether it's friendship, business, relationship, or alliance, or love. And when it is love, this is typically a card of marriage or proposal. So I like that. And the main thing that I got from the channeled messages is say yes if you feel the reciprocated energy, like you're feeling that way and they're feeling that way. And this is true on any level of a contract, business, love, etc. It has to be both ways, or go another path if that's not it. But generally speaking, this is a strong, capable foundation energy, and this is a good time to build and forge alliances, okay? Looking at what's going on in the environment, it's change, folks, but it's done. It doesn't feel like this is difficult except in the question of what's next. So Judgment is typically Gabriel blowing his horn on the Rider-Waite-Smith card and Souls Rising from the Dead. In this one, we see a swan, and it's basically saying this is a moment to exit or enter with grace, and we have this beautiful reflective energy as well. So some of you are looking with gratitude and saying, wow, I did it. I got through to this, to this point. And it is for many of you like a graduation moment. And now it's just a question of what next. Now, this can play out differently when we look at things like work or things in the environment. This can be an announcement that you had no say in, and it's really more what's your reaction to someone else's announcement, decision, transformation, etc. And you can't control them, but you can control your emotions and your reaction and your next step, and that's what basically you have a chance to do this month. We have the Seven of Cups, aptly named choices on this deck, and you're exploring options. Some will be more appealing than others. And the main thing with the Seven of Cups is I like to think of it as something that you sit in for a minute or two or a day or two, but you don't want to stagnate in it too long, because too many choices create this sense of discombobulation, like, I don't know what I'm going to do. And I think it's important for you to stay focused, explore something, and then trust your heart when it comes to taking the next move. And now we have the beautiful planning and dreaming and sort of spiritual card, which is the Two of Wands. In this one, they're focusing more on the planning portion of it, but the Two of Wands is also connecting you to like this moment of where am I at in my life? It's a soul-searching card. In the traditional Rider-Waite-Smith card, you can actually see the person looking at the globe, sometimes a crystal ball. And again, it's the comparison of the future, the past, this is the present, and they're trying to figure out how everything's coming together. Where do I stand? What do I want? And how can I make this happen? And once you start to get very clear on what it is that you want, which is kind of the next level of this. This is the confusion and this is the clarity. Once you have the clarity, then the universe can deliver. Let's go ahead now and step into the expanded forecast, where we go a little deeper into health, wealth, love, and destiny, beginning, of course, with your health and your well-being. The oracle card in health was the magic zone. If we look at it close up, it says the exhilaration of discombobulation. I was talking a little bit about the Seven of Cups. Here's your traditional illustration. You can have fun with it. There's brainstorming that is a part of this. That's the joyful piece. So getting out of your comfort zone, pushing at ideas a little bit, thinking, well, why not this? Why not that? So that's the perfect place to have fun with it. If you stay too long in that discombobulated energy, it turns into, I have no idea what to do next. This is another way that you can look at the Seven of Cups. So it can either be joyful and you're like, oh my God, I just landed on this epiphany. This is it. Yay. Or it can be the math meme that I just showed you. Let it be this confetti falling instead and thinking, I just landed on something that gets me really excited, really intrigued. I want to go there. Okay. So explore the possibilities, but then move forward as we talked about here. This is a pivotal piece here. Speak it into existence or somehow kind of move it to the next level. Now, let's talk about how this can affect health this month. The discombobulation is a lack of focus. Sometimes this can simply be distraction. Distraction because, the neighbor's dog is barking. Distraction because you're working from home and you also are a stay-at-home mom or dad and you have to take care of the kids and they are distracting you from your work. It can be your neighbor at work. It can also be you doing one thing but wishing you were doing something else. So this is basically a call to action. How can you create a little bit more order and maybe have some better boundaries? And that's the main opportunity there. It's not always going to be perfection, and that's what we were seeing with these two cards. You're going to have to think out of the box and give yourself and others permission to be imperfect, which isn't always easy, I know. All right, let's just look at some general health messages since we are focusing on that. So lack of concentration is one thing, but maybe just allowing yourself to be less than perfect will be a part of that. As we take a look here at the deep past, we have pregnancy for some of you. The Empress is typically a symbol of that, especially when we're connecting it so closely to the lovers. So we'll look at that a little bit more in relationships, but if you're trying to get pregnant or pregnant for the first time, this is something where you're going to need to take special care of yourself. We have this card here of speaking up. And for many of you, this is going to totally change what was important before. So this is questioning the path. This is weighing things out, time, energy, budget, etc. And this is a new beginning. This is typically a baby card. So we have a mother card, a baby card, and lovers. This is a nice foundation for things. Same thing with this. And this is a new beginning, ends in beginning. So I definitely see that kind of energy, which can change things up. So possibly a birth. For some of you, this can be exiting a relationship. It's those kind of big things that are going to come with these two cards. But this is a slight nuance to that. For some of you, there's also pregnancy. I think that no matter what you put your mind to, health-wise, and anything in general, Sagittarius, you can successfully handle it. You'll find a way. You have to explore options. You have to make choices. And in doing so, you can really manage anything with proper planning and proper notice. This is a close call, so you could have a wake-up call of some sort with respect to health, and listen to that whenever this card appears in the spread. It may not be your own life. It could be a friend or family member, and you look at that and you think, I don't want that. How can I change it? I'm going to do this. That kind of thought process is here. You have a lot of support, so you don't have to do things alone this month. It may not. If you're not in a relationship, it's just showing that there are people that are happy to step in and support you, because the Lovers and the Four of Wands are some of the best people or familial or support cards that you can have in a spread. So explore that network a little bit if you need to. Other than that, this can be getting a second opinion. And overall, I think the most important thing is to look at your schedule. This is about being able to achieve or create balance. Again, if we go back to the updated illustrations here, or the traditional illustrations, a choice has to be made. Weighing the options, making a choice. And when you make the choice, then you have the capacity to manifest just a little bit easier. And that's pretty much everything. The only thing, again, this month is focus, concentration, and mental clarity. If any of those things are lacking or missing, this is the time to do whatever you need to do to create that sort of mental clarity. And again, sometimes it's just talking through things, asking questions, kind of getting things off your mind, okay? Let's move on to the next component of this expanded forecast, which is wealth. As we take a look at the Oracle card here, it is Hawk Spirit. Let Spirit be your guide, but it was in the reverse state. So for many of you, this is about not being so mired down in the details, in sort of like having to see everything in black and white, that you basically forget to take stock of how far you've come, that you forget to explore opportunities on the horizon. And you remember, dreaming is a big part of this. When we looked at the previous card for happiness, because this was in health and happiness, it's saying the exhilaration of that unknown, comfort with ambiguity. So take a moment and rise above, get a bird's eye view, and tune into your heart and focus on the first things that come to your mind. Intuition works in a very clear way like that. We receive the message and oftentimes we overthink it, so don't overthink it. That's the main thing here. Now, let's see what else is coming through here with respect to resources and money and all of that is connected to wealth. So choices and discernment. That's how I can sum up these two cards here. Definitely focus on what makes sense for you. There is a subtitle on this one that is, or a caption rather, that is generosity, but remember that it works both ways, give and take, okay? So choices and discernment will help you. They will help you start something new. They will help you be more successful. They will help you change your fortune. And it's better to do less, but do it with more passion and clarity than to do everything and be sort of lacking focus. It's really important to lean into your authority and into your power cards here, because people love you and support you for who you are. Speak up, step into the spotlight, take that first step towards change, and we do see something big happening here. And if you want to make a really big change happen, it's the partnerships and the networks that are going to elevate and support you. They'll be there, clapping hands and giving you a hug. And that is kind of how this one scene played out in my dreams, where someone from the audience came up and said, "I love you." And they felt self-conscious as well, and then it didn't get reciprocated. It was like, likewise, and that really isn't the same answer. That's not putting the same energy out there. So you don't want to cut it off. If someone, this is another way of looking at it for wealth. If someone says, "I see you and I think you're perfect for this," whatever that opportunity is, just say, "Thank you. Me too. I'm so glad that we have a chance to partner up on this." That's better than likewise or okay or are you sure. Let's really put some certainty and some love out there as well. And good handshake. We need to see from both sides that kind of connection. Don't spread yourself too thin in your time, in your obligations, and definitely when it comes to spending, this is about tightening unnecessary expenditures and saying, "I don't need to do this anymore. I'm not watching this streaming service," or "I don't need to eat out as much," or "This isn't as important for me to do this month, so I can put it off." Focus on that so that when you do prioritize and set things into motion, you'll have more time, energy, and resources to make a big splash. For some of you, you may be trying to figure out how to balance things like a new relationship or a new baby or a new partnership, even in business, with something else in your life. So it's just about you tuning into yourself. That's why we got this, and communicating needs and expectations and boundaries. I think it's a fruitful time for exploration. This is brainstorming. This is envisioning. And so you might have almost too many things coming through. And so this is a great time to talk to someone or lean on someone to take it to the next level. An assistant, a producer, and also like a specialist. Maybe it's a lawyer, an accountant, whatever. Let that person take it to the next level. It's a baton. All you have to do with one of these two batons is say, "Here, I've done all I can on this. You take that. Now I'm going to focus on this." Same thing with the two pentacles. This is what I need to focus on. How about you help with this? Delegating, passing on, focusing, and setting expectations. It's a good month overall, though, I have to say, because we have finding balance and achieving a vision as two of your outcomes. So that's good. Let's quickly look at three categories: those that are employed, those that are looking for employment, and those that are retired or maybe students and not focusing so much on the workforce. So if you're currently working, you may be in a new role. This could be you starting something fresh, maybe fresh out of school, and this is your first job. You may be deciding to move up and you feel somewhat green behind the ears on this and you're a little bit worried, or you're just starting a new path. No matter how we look at this, it's gonna create some friction. It's gonna require, this is the pressure test or the tire. You're gonna need to do some things to kind of take care of that, not put too much pressure on yourself or others. That's really important. Can you succeed? Absolutely. Are you set up for success? Yes. Do you believe it? Well, I don't know. You might be questioning it, but I'm not questioning it based on what I see here. If you need help, ask. There are some bigger changes going on for those of you that might be in a corporate environment or even in a small business. This can be a new boss, a new owner, or even possibly a merger, but it looks like the ink is dried on this. This has happened, and it's more about like if you want to stay with it for the next phase of the journey. This is also about getting long in the tooth somewhere, and that's just an old saying for like you've done everything that you need to do and you want to change. You want to be excited. You want to be enticed with whatever it is that you're filling your time and your days with. So find a way to make something old new if you can. And it could just be a different approach because this is all about perspective. So if you can cast it in a new light or a new perspective, then you sort of get a new lease on it and it makes it more engaging. So I think you're actually in a decent place this month. There's a chance for growth. I think that for some of you though, if you're trying to ask for more money right now, budgets are a little bit tight. If you want to step into a new role or set the seeds for success, yes. And it may take another 3 months because this card with the trees all barren, it's like, well, spring's around the corner, 2 or 3 months. We're looking at a month away from spring here in the Northern Hemisphere when I'm reading this. So be patient. That would be the main message here for those that are working and trying to get something more when it comes to development. But it's a good month overall, I have to say. And you've done a lot of work to create good reputation because this is leadership and this is support. And this is your voice and they're looking at all of this. They may just be trying to figure out how can this person stick around. This person is you, by the way. So they're trying to figure out what they can do for you. It just can't all happen immediately. Let's reset the stage now and look at those that are seeking employment. Some of you, this is your first time. This can be graduating from high school or college or a certification program, and you find yourself out there. You're looking at the numbers, and I think it's important to really be realistic what first jobs would look like, but this is why you want to talk to other people about pay. This is something that I think it's changing in school, but they didn't talk about how to market yourself, how to negotiate a salary, and what the going pay was for certain industries that I was studying at the time. So talk to people that are in the industry, ask about money, especially if you're not in the company yet. But I think in general, we should be a little bit more open and communicative about salaries so that we can have better equality when it comes to everything. So until we talk, we don't know where the deltas or the differences are. So anyway, talk to people around you to get that sort of sense of how to negotiate. That'll help you, and it'll help you do so with confidence and clarity. Those are the main things here at the negotiation table. By the way, everybody can use that, but it's especially coming through for people that are either entering for the first time or re-entering after a period of being in a job for a while, because it's the same sort of thing. You're like, what's going on in the industry right now? The most common question I usually get for those that are job seeking is, can I find a job and when and where? So can you find a job? Yes. However, it could be a bit of a reset. You may not have as much experience. It could be entry level. This may also just be you needing to look in different areas. So if we look at Spirit coming through, the message from Spirit is don't do the same old, same old. Try something completely different or repackaging your skills in a different way so that people can see you and say, oh, look, this is kind of like a unicorn. This is exactly what we were looking for. If you can see yourself, that's kind of what I'm getting from Spirit. See yourself as a unicorn, having very, very unique skills, not fitting into the category that was exactly expected, but that is what's going to constitute your success. So it's time to be bold, try new things, put yourself into a position where maybe you don't have as much experience, but you've decided that you're ready for something new. I think that, when you're looking at timelines, how soon, the Six of Pentacles is the center card. It can be about 6 weeks or just under 2 months because we have the two twos coming through here. Couple weeks, couple months. Pretty fast, actually. Using a network, your existing network, and then also trying something different. That's the key to success. It should be engaging. It should be something where you get up in the morning and you have ideas and you can use those ideas. I see someone playing an instrument. For some of you, it's like what you would feel like if you were a musician. A lot of times musicians are just compelled to like the music comes to them and they have to get it out. So it should feel that way. Like, I just can't wait to try this out or talk to my coworker about this. So try to do something where there's a lot of passion and you feel compelled, a lot of love and a lot of autonomy here. But 2 weeks or 2 months, in that range. It's short term, but not immediately. Plant the seeds right now. And we have 2 entrepreneur cards. So if you want to do this on your own, just make sure that you have the resources to do so. That's pretty much everything here. An old connection from the past, old high school friend, old coworker, maybe even someone you used to date but you're still friends with. Someone may know of a job, so it's good to socialize this and talk to people and say, hey, I'm looking. Just like if you're looking for an apartment, you usually will check in with your friends to see if anyone knows if something opened up in their building, etc. Okay, that's everything for those that are looking. If you are either retired or a student, here's what I see. For retired people, it ends in beginnings. Try something new. This is not the end. It's a chance to really weigh out what you're spending your time and energy on. This is a card of writing and communication. Some of you may get more interested in doing something like a book club, or you want to write a little bit more or learn another language so that you can travel. This card is about planning a trip. So it's exciting to do something like this because it makes this more fun and you get a deeper understanding of the place that you visit when you know the language. So I'm definitely seeing that. You may also be really good at consulting. You're retired, but some people may want to tap your instincts and your sort of acumen for success. So I still see work opportunities, and you can be super picky, assuming that your finances are in order because you're doing it for passion, not for a paycheck. And that's exciting. The main thing here this month is making new friends. In my dreams, this is very rare. You know, I don't read for love, Sagittarius, but I heard someone say, I love you. And so love is on the horizon, or friendship or partnership is on the horizon for you if your heart is open, if you're ready. So really focus on feeling that sense of worthiness. For students, you may be looking at a different path, changing your path, or just simply starting. Maybe this is the month where you put the application out for the following year and you're saying, I want to do this. There's something new or different about the path, about everything this month, Sagittarius. So really lean into the newness and have some fun with it. Let's go into love. As we take a look at the Oracle card, it says Halls of Amenti Initiation. We can just say Halls of Initiation. Starting something new that requires this sort of process that you have to go through. Initiation, it reminds me a lot, like some of you might be joining a group. You may be signing a contract. It could be love, marriage, because you're kind of initiating this new chapter. The card was reversed, but let's just see what the energy is first, then we can lean in how to basically facilitate this. Secrets being revealed. So this could be, for some of you in relationships, learning something about yourself by loving someone, or learning something about your partner and bringing that into the light, not being afraid to see it. The next message, treasures uncovered. You may discover your true worth, their true worth, or that you just really like this energy of friendship or partnership. And then we have initiations. What are you going to do about it? This can simply be what I was talking about, the I love you, or an invitation to be in a relationship. Like, do you want to make this exclusive? Or do you want to move in with someone? Or do you want to get married? It's something like that, initiating a new chapter. It can also be saying, do you want to break up? But it's somehow saying this is the next thing. And that is judgment. Judgment is very much a decisive card and an announcement of that decision. That's why you see the horn there, okay? Let's take a look at this in 3 contexts. In a relationship, looking for a relationship, or happily single. If you're in a relationship, it's a different chapter, as we just said. So there's something new about it. You may be moving in. So you've been together for a while, you're moving in. You may need some time apart to weigh out and figure out, where do we stand? Because this is a time to say, are we really in this for the long haul? Lovers, Empress, 4 of Wands, and Judgment. These are pretty good cards for a relationship, especially connected together. As I said earlier, there just has to be that reciprocity. And it looks like both of you may be weighing things out a little bit. One of you may have just gotten a promotion, or you're just wondering, like, gosh, things are really good. Is something going to go wrong? Don't do that. Because you have the power this month to manifest. We have a magician-esque energy when we were looking at health. And this is basically saying, just focus on being present. If it's good now, celebrate the fact that it is. This card actually has celebration on it. So you're good. That's great. So just lean into that. Now, If you are focusing on a new chapter and you're kind of leaning into this, the one thing that you can really do to make sure that this lands is communication. And we do have a Queen of Swords card. So I think as long as you are communicative about your wishes, about some of the uncertainty, about some of the options, about the fact that change is happening, then things will be fine, because this is where the two of you can exist, the Four of Wands. So I think it's a pretty good month overall. There just may be some questions on what next. I really like in a relationship spread when we get the Two of Wands in the outcome, because it basically means that you see one another in each other's future. So basically making plans together is a really important thing. It helps the other partner know, I guess we're continuing this process, aren't we? So communicate goals and wishes, communicate affection, and just communicate, okay? Those are the main things here. Changes are happening, but they're manageable. One last thing before we go into the next category is this can represent someone transitioning into spirit. This could be a loved one. There could also be something that is just exiting your life in general, but this is kind of going to bring the two of you together stronger as long as that communication energy is there. All right, if you're looking for love, this can be a soulmate, a karmic soulmate. And it actually doesn't look like there's a lot of baggage attached to this karmic soulmate, because I'm not someone that just focuses on twin flames or soulmates, because sometimes they bring a lot of stuff. I'm not seeing that so much. I feel like there may be sort of this constant, vacillation, going between things, overthinking. So for those of you that are landing in a new relationship, looking for a new relationship, trust your gut. You either feel the spark or you don't, and they either feel it or they don't. And if they hesitate on the I love you too, then, again, kind of step back and say, I don't have to force this. How are people going to find you? So the answer is you can find love. There is something about this that feels both new and very familiar because of that karmic connection. They're going to see you when you step into the spotlight. That's what I saw in my dream. So by being yourself and stepping out there, leaving the sort of curtain behind you and just saying, this is who I am unapologetically, that's when new options in love come through. You have some folks from the past that might be reemerging. So we have the Empress and Queen of Swords. There could be an air sign coming back, and this is a fresh start. There could be someone just coming into your life that is kind of like this Queen of Swords, outspoken, really strong, really clear, maybe a little bossy, but I like the energy. So it's really a question of how you feel with that. And for some of you, it's just, are you ready to love again? Are you ready to love, period? Because the Judgment card can have to do with your self-worth and feeling like, yes, I can do this. And yes, I receive that. And again, I love you too. Sometimes the hesitation is because the self-love has to exist. And you might be surprised that, someone said that. So if it's you, focus on the self-love. If it's them, focus on the hesitation and see what's going on. Was it the method that you delivered it? Or could they also be possibly going through some self-confidence things? But I think right now, friendship is where it starts. And focus on getting to know the person. We don't have the Three of Cups here. We have the Four of Wands. And so love can come, but it comes from a deep and really strong friendship. And that is the kind of relationship that can stand the test of time. So I think that a trip can also help here. So looking beyond your current sort of place that you're living or working, stepping into the spotlight, not being afraid to speak up, all of these things are going to help as well. Okay, if you're happily single, travel. So definitely energy of travel. And by the way, the Fool is just going out and taking a walk around your city or a drive around your city. It doesn't have to involve a really, really long trip or anything like that. The other thing that I see here is, because we're looking at just your relationship energy, you can really start to make some new acquaintances here. And also find room in your schedule to explore new things, because this is making headway into new sort of unforged and unexplored territories. So for some of you, that may be deciding, I want to learn something new, like going back to school. You may decide that you want to teach. There's a lot of fun things that are coming through. Even though you're retired, I get a lot of active energy. So the sky is the limit for you this month. And since you're untethered, it's kind of up to you. The only area that's a little bit more of an opportunity for those that are retired is money. So just focusing on, this is a lot like I see a spirit of generosity here. There's a lot of hands that are kind of saying, you know, I could use some of this, I need some of this. You get to decide and make sure that you're taking care of yourself first and foremost, okay? Let's go ahead now and focus on destiny. What came through here is envy, but it's reversed. So it's saying releasing feelings of envy. And for many of you, this can be like the Four of Cups, where you're looking at someone else's accomplishments or achievements, and it's like the grass is always greener. You're wondering, I wonder if I would have done that, how I would have felt, or why does that person have something that I want? What do I need to do to get that? So there's definitely that kind of energy that's coming through for some of you, and it's just a reset. And it's thinking in this moment, am I missing a blessing of where I'm at right now? Have I learned everything? Have I done anything to block myself from that, whether it's self-confidence or just, you know, preparation, etc., because we did have a planning card here. Sometimes people are just really good at planning and everything comes together. All of that being said, this could also represent someone around you that has a hard time allowing you to shine. So in this moment, you just want to lead with integrity. Don't mute or dim your light, and don't apologize for what we see here, which is success. Ultimately, this doesn't serve you. Envy doesn't serve you because your energy is success. So that's the thing to focus on, folks, is where can I be successful? What can I do to make the necessary changes? And what am I going to do today? These are the questions to ask yourself to get out of that energy. You can also take something like envy and turn it into inspiration, because all envy really is a twisted lens of love. So you look at someone and you think, I love this about them. And instead of then taking a mirror and thinking, what can I do to create something in my life similar? You think, I wish I had that and I'm angry that they do. So all you do is shift it around and think, all right, that person did that. We have a similar background. That means I could do that, or maybe something better. Let's do it. And you could think to yourself, this is how you're going to transmute the energy. Thank you for inspiring me. Thank you for showing me it's possible. And good for you. Now what am I going to do? Stop fixating on them, okay? And that's a good thing to do also with someone who is fixated on you. You can just think to them, save your time and energy and focus on someone else. And you're going to turn it off and think, I know that they appreciate or admire me, but they have a weird way of showing it. And then just focus on something that you can control. It's going to save you a lot of time and energy, and it's also going to inspire others to maybe do the same. All right, let's take a look now at sun, rising, and moon sign messages to get a clearer vision of what's coming through. After that, we'll do the final card. Sun, rising, and the moon. We got the star here, which is fantastic on that. Let's start off first with sun sign messages. Wow. Okay, intuition coming through here with the Queen of Cups. This is another synchronicity, which is why I said, wow, I featured her at the beginning when I said speak from the heart. Follow your heart, follow your intuition, and just allow things to flow through. You'll know the right thing to say at the right time. And these two queens are going to work together. So let your heart work up through the throat chakra. You need to have these two activated. They're right next to each other. So speak with your heart, speak with integrity. And also, this is really fortuitous for those that are looking to repair a relationship, create a relationship, or forge new ones. The Queen of Cups energy is very, very attractive and very, very magnetic. And on an energetic level, we're talking about this. So that's great. For those of you also that want to express your creativity or lead something, your passion and your creativity are coming to the forefront. Really, really good month, Sagittarius, with respect to that. And there can be a lot of growth and healing in the heart space in general. Moving from Sagittarius Sun to Sagittarius Rising or Ascendant, we have Seven of Wands. She can do everything, but she doesn't have to. The caption on this one is Valor. I always like to think about focusing on really making sure that you're working smarter, not just harder. And I think that's the big takeaway here. Also, she isn't getting overly defensive. So if she wants to do something, she says it. If she doesn't, she doesn't. And if someone isn't listening to her, she repeats it, but she doesn't get irritated. It's like, we already talked about that. I'm going to do this, you're going to do that. I like that kind of leadership energy. So don't immediately go on the defensive. Don't feel like you have to over-explain, and don't take on more than is necessary. you're just one step away from this, the Six of Wands. You already accomplished and showed up. That's why people are knocking on the door. And you don't have to say yes to everybody. You're one away from things taking flight, the Eight of Wands. So all you have to do is really see where you can make the biggest impact, push back on things that are a waste of time or energy, and in doing so, you're really going to land and make it work. Again, this card usually only comes through for people that are in high demand. And so all of those discernment energies that we saw here are going to be key too. So you can't say yes to everyone, and you have to make a choice for yourself too. Okay? And that's going to set you up here for that new beginning. Moving on to moon sign messages. We have the Star. So this completely connects with the jealousy or envy card that I was talking about earlier. And there's a song from the 80s, I think, from Billy Joel, which is Just the Way You Are. Maybe the 70s, I can't remember. But basically, he says to the person in the song, don't go changing, I love you just the way that you are. So I want you to think about that to yourself. You know, you don't have to try to speak a different way, act a different way, love a different person. Just be authentic. Step into the Star power. It's really close in this deck to the Fool, isn't it? And so it's just about saying, this is who I am. Take it or leave it. I've worked too long and too hard to get comfortable in my own skin. That's by the way, why this card is naked. The Star card represents this moment of just dropping all facades. The World card has that same energy, the Star, and in this deck, aptly illustrated is the Beginnings card, the Fool. We're born naked, so we don't have artifice until we start to, you know, from that first breath or first cry, things start to get put upon us. So this is a chance to get back to the true you, to basically be your true self. And in doing so, you can actually get into that energy of birthing, which is what we have here. And that's a big thing here that it took me all the way to the Star card to kind of make that connection again. This is a month to birth, to release, to create. And especially for Sagittarius moon, don't deny yourself that opportunity to shine or explore, especially if someone else has a hard time saying congratulations. And that was something that I wanted to say, and it just naturally came through. This month, be happy for yourself, be happy for others. And that is going to help clear old karma for you and possibly for them as well. Okay, let's take a look now at your final question. This is your chance to ask anything that I've yet to cover, and we'll let Spirit come through with a clear, concise answer. Okay, interesting card that came through here. We have the Eight of Swords. The Eight of Swords is reversed. And typically you would see blindfolds. This one just kind of comes through as a block, right? Because you see all of these interfering and blocking in. It's the prison of thoughts. That's kind of what this card is sometimes illustrated as. So if you can free your thoughts and free your imagination and free yourself, it's basically about untethering things. That is where your big superpower can come in this month. As a yes or no, it's a no, but if you look a little harder, there's going to be a clearer way. Something's missing. Eight of Swords is blindfolded, and it's saying, yes, it's reversed, but that's not a yes. It's saying, look a little bit more. Leave no rock unturned, because there may be opportunities for something more efficient. There may be a chance to be a little bit more successful. You might be seeing a cyclical sort of energy, and you're thinking to yourself, why am I in this cycle? And this is a chance to really release that and go beyond. So it's a no to a yes, no. And to everyone else, it's just about opening your heart, opening your eyes, and releasing internal blocks, because that is a prison of thoughts that's usually coming through with the Eight of Swords. So my friends, that is everything for this month. I hope you enjoyed this. If you did, do me a favor, like and subscribe. It's absolutely free, and it helps the channel grow. You can also give me a follow across social media. It's always my full name, Nicholas Ashbaugh. And just as a quick reminder to help you stay safe, remember, I do not offer private readings. and I will never send a direct message or text asking for something. You can just block and report anyone that does that. Let me know about it as well. If you would like to show support, it's always optional, but it does help the channel growth. You can do it through super stickers, super chat, hitting that thanks button on these uploads, and becoming a member. I upload new videos every Monday, Thursday, and Friday. I do live streams every Sunday at 9:15 a.m. And I also post a daily upload. So you can check out all of that on my main channel page. And if you ever have any questions about which accounts are official, you can see all of those links on my website, nicholasashbaugh.com. That, my friends, is everything. Thank you so much for allowing me to be a part of your sort of growth and trajectory here for the month ahead. It's been my honor. It's been my pleasure. And again, thanks. You're the best part of what I do here on YouTube. I couldn't be here without your love and support. Wishing you the best now and always. Take care, Sagittarius. I'll see you soon.